You're live.
Hi,
Live.
guys. Can you hear us? Can you hear us okay? We've got company today. We have,
Just for a bit.
yeah, we have Craig, our Medicare guru, and
Yep. Just in the neighborhood.
when we're waiting for the next rain to come, which I said didn't show anything north of Orlando, so I think we're good for a while anyhow. So, but it's not bad out here. I don't know what the temperature is. I didn't look at my phone, but it's.
I can't get my phone to even work. Look at this.
Oh.
This is the trouble I
Anyhow,
have
it's in
all
the
the
80s
time.
right now.
Really?
Not as bad as what it has been because it's very, very cloudy. But
Well, at least the breeze is.
yeah, every once in a while we get a good
Because
breeze.
yesterday the breeze was hot.
Yeah, yes, it was.
That's like
Oh my.
the air temperature's hot, the breeze is hot, everything's hot.
Are
We
we
got some.
on?
Yeah, trying to find us.
I can't get my phone to come on.
It's all charged?
I know I had it on charge. I know it's charged up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have this weird stuff happens all the time.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm always running out of juice. I forget to plug it in.
I'm gonna go and plug this in. Here, I'm back.
Okay. I'm.
Looks like Skip's ready for
Oh, he's got his cookies.
Porch. Now, could he eat those when he had his dental stuff?
Well, since he got that work done last week,
He can now?
everything's fine now.
Good.
Good.
Good. Boy, that was an adventure.
It wasn't anything expected. I mean, we really
Ooh.
was not expecting that, and it was nice. It was just something so mundane. I mean, just having a cap replaced is no big deal,
Right.
you know. But
Right.
it turned into an epic.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
There we are. Okay. Oh, okay. So I guess I found us.
There we are.
Hey, everybody. Jerry and Marcia and Ann, Mark Ryan, Rich A, William. Thank you, William. Ron 5850. Yeah, we have Craig sitting with us today for a little while,
Just for a bit.
And,
Yep.
like I said, it's not bad out. I don't know what the temperature is. It's 80 something, but
I know what it was for some reason, which I don't understand why I done that. But my settings had the display turned all the way down.
Oh, well,
Brightness.
that would do it. That would do it.
Robin Fetter says, why is Eastport called Eastport? Isn't it the one that is farthest south? Well, you got to kind of get the north, south, east, and west thing here is kind of screwy.
You probably find out it has something to do with the family. Brownwood's called Brownwood because it came from Brownwood, Michigan.
Right.
Eastport probably has something to do with the family.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they probably have a reason for that. They may have had a home or something like that in a Eastport area, somewhere else. You never know.
Yeah. Laura says 476 days until she's Medicare eligible. But
Yay!
who's counting, Laura? Really?
Yeah, who's
Come
counting?
on.
Can you hear everybody okay?
Yeah. Everybody says that they could hear us. So
I was looking at the news right there. Naked man walking around the campground up here. Plantation Recreation.
he's not
And
paying
his
attention,
excuse
but
was, they asked him,
anyhow.
what are you doing? He said,
Too hot?
They have
Been a
naked
really-
beaches
been
in
a
Florida,
really,
so the law says I can walk around naked.
Dull week
They-
so
they
far.
arrested him, put
We
him
had
in
a
jail
good
'cause he's a
rain
nut.
yesterday, and I'm hoping we get some more today.
How old was
but,
he?
But like I said,
I
it's
don't
showing
know. I
south
haven't
of
read it.
Orlando, so I
haven't
don't
read it
think,
all.
Of course, it
unless
doesn't
we
make
get
any
it later in
difference.
the evening, I don't think we're going to get it.
He
But
has chosen one
it
that
wouldn't
he wants
hurt.
to be elected
Some of
for
my
the
flowers
Suffolk
are
County
pretty
Commission.
puny looking. Skip went and took them, pushed
I
them
never know
underneath the
whether to
bushes.
report that on the news
to,
because it
keep
gets
them out
into
of the sun,
politics,
because the
and
sun
then you
was
get a lot
so
of other
hot.
people that says nasty
This
stuff.
one, of course,
and half the people that make
is
them
doing
nasty
very
comments,
well.
they don't live here. They
And,
don't know anything that's going on.
I repotted
You know,
one.
so when
I got a
report
couple
that,
more
I
to
know what's going
repot.
on. You know what's going on.
Because some of these flowers
But
aren't
I
meant to last
always
forever.
hesitate
I
about
know.
So you
saying
have to
say
redo them
anything.
every
Yeah,
once
it's
in a
probably
while.
better not to.
But, okay, and Buddy's in the house. It's too hot out here for him, honey, and so he's in his cage. He's in doggy jail, but it's okay because it's his nap time anyhow. So he'll go to sleep there, and he'll be fine. He'll be up and at him. You know, when we get done, he'll be wanting to play. So did I tell you about taking him to playtime
You
at,
find it?
at
You got it already.
PetSmart. I take him every Sunday for playtime. They have 2 hours, and I took him for the
Yeah,
last
I'm
2
either
weeks.
on
I've took
here
him,
or
and he's
Patreon
good for the first
or
hour,
Discord.
and then the second
Those
hour
are the three
he
things
wants
I'm
to hump everything
usually
he sees.
on lately.
And so
Oh.
they will, they have
really
the spray
like
bottles.
Discord.
There's 3 ladies
I
in
like
the
it because it's just us.
domicile with them,
And there's no
with the
harassing
dogs,
going on.
and
Some
they have
kid
spray
getting on
bottles
there
to
and
spray
messing
them.
around. It's just
Well, by the
us.
time he come out,
Yeah.
he was only in there about an hour. I stayed because I knew what was going to
Yeah,
happen.
it took me a while to get on,
and then
but
they, by the time he come
I'm
out of there,
hearing
he
from
was
other
soaking
people
wet.
that the original sign up is a little
So,
confusing.
but
Yeah.
he's
And I
doing well.
can't
He's
really help him
still
'cause I don't know
growing.
what it
He's
even looks like.
nice.
But I do know this.
9.5
I've learned
pounds
that
now, I
when
think.
people do
So,
sign up for Discord,
I'm hoping he doesn't
all
get
they're
much
getting
bigger than
is
that. That's
my
all I can
Discord
handle,
with the
really.
little doggy
But,
thing.
but he's
But I send out
he's a dog
things
baby.
for
He
Sue's
is.
saying, here, click this to be part of Sue's. Once that happens, then you should have 2.
Oh, and
It's
Laura
like
says
a-
317 days
Okay.
until she retires. Fingers crossed, but who's counting? I understand, Laura. Let's see. Yeah, but he is a rascal. He is, because you look at him and he seems so quiet and serene, but when he wants to play, I mean, he won't leave you alone. And I can't leave the house. That's the bad thing. I can't leave the house, and I went yesterday to pick some stuff up at Sam's Club, and I left a little bit early because I had a 4 o'clock appointment. I left a little bit early because I was going to stop at Bell's Outlet on the way down, and I come back and Skip says, "What took you so long?" I said, "Well, I wasn't gone that long," and he said, "Well, this dog just carries on awful when you leave," and I know he does, and not much I could do about that because he's attached to me, but he's with me 24 hours a day, so I understand that part. And he's still a puppy, so he still needs a mommy.
You want something to drink? Coke?
Yeah, that'd be
Let's see.
great.
Oh, I didn't know if you could actually even hear them. I've been talking over the top of them, so we'll get that straight here in a minute, guys.
Yes, we're sorry, Lewis.
Yeah, they said they hear all 3 of it at the same time. Yeah. Oh, Ann says her 14-year-old says she weighs 12 pounds. Well, I'm not real sure about, how big Buddy's going to get. So, like his dad was only 10
there's
pounds.
Crime Watch. What'd we do?
Oh, is that the... Yeah.
Uh-oh, Community Watch is here. Thank you, Skip.
Yeah. Chetney 850 says, I currently have regular Medicare and TRICARE for life. When I move to the villages, would I be able to use the villages physicians, or would I have to go outside the bubble?
No, you will be able to use the physicians. They have acknowledged the fact that you've earned that benefit, which, by the way, is probably some of the best senior health care benefit you can have. And yes, they will welcome you with open arms. I would recommend going to one of the 11 satellite facilities they have. They have a patient care facilitator in each one, and they'll tell you all about the village's health, walk you around, the facility, which they're all basically cookie cutters. So, the floor plan is the same. But yes, by all means. And again, thank you so much for protecting us.
Oh, yeah. Mark Ryan says, Craig, my wife and I are both 57 and bought a home in the villages. I have Blue Cross Blue Shield health coverage from my college until I turn 65. Will I need coverage for my wife at some point?
Yes, so if that particular benefit is not extended to her, so in other words, a lot of times a group plan will allow dependents to be on it. Sometimes that goes by the wayside when you separate from service. So in other words, what you want to do is check with your HR folks and just see what that transition is. Will you be allowed to keep her on there? The thing I would be careful about, even if she can stay on your plan, is whether or not the premium is going to increase dramatically. And what I mean by that is she may well be put into what they call COBRA, even though your particular plan would be taken care of as an employee or former employee. Check and see if hers is the same. If not, yes, you can definitely get a plan here. even a Florida Blue plan here that's comparable. And I can help you with that if you need to.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. And I know that, I was on Skip's insurance when we moved down here. And once he turned 65, I could not stay on his plan because I was on disability.
Right.
So I already had Medicare, so I couldn't stay on his health plan. But I went with a regular Blue Cross Blue Shield policy and Medicare.
Yeah.
I'm not in the Village's system. But what that means is I can't see their primary. All the other doctors I have that are specialists are the Village's doctors. Just the primary that I got to have that's outside the system. And I said,
Correct.
he's in Lake Sumter, so, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you're hearing Sue say, in other words, is there are more than enough doctors
Yes.
around outside of the Village's Health, which is the largest provider. And people ask me all the time, which one should I go with? Is there a way to get out of the waiting times that I have to, suffer through just to see a doctor for the first time? I always tell people that word of mouth is still a great source of information.
Yeah.
Around the pool, the pickleball court, what have you.
Neighbors.
Yep, neighbors. Ask them who they use. And obviously everybody's got their own unique health situations, but for primary care especially, that's always my recommendation is ask a neighbor, ask a friend, ask somebody you see fairly often. So, yeah.
And Louis Flamio says, can you combine federal employee health benefit plan with Florida Blue? I am a retired U.S. Postal Service worker. I will keep FEHP also.
Right, and that is a no. And just after I got that saying TRICARE is one of the best health cares, the federal Florida Blue is the best, okay? So we've already got two people that have very, very good insurance based on their employment or service to the country. So no, you can't, but at the same time, that's not going to limit you from getting services as well.
Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all. John Keller. If you guys got any questions for Craig, just let us know. I said we don't have an agenda here today. We're just sitting on the porch visiting. This is what we would do anywhere we lived. We just sit on the porch and visit with the neighbors or whoever may come by. And today, I said, happened to be Craig.
Yes.
And I said we appreciate his expertise in this kind of thing because it's very difficult. It really is difficult to figure this stuff out at one time. And I said, and especially if you're intending to move and change, there's a lot of questions. And so you need somebody like Craig to kind of help you through it.
As you need Skip and Sue when you're deciding to move here. Which that's a lot more information than I would ever imagine happening. So they know how it's been here. They know what's going on currently. They stay very active in this community.
And well, like I've told them, we're not here on vacation.
Right.
We live here.
You do.
So
it's
there's
home.
a lot of pitfalls that you may have, that you don't know the difference. But like I said, we're here to help you. That's what we do.
Yes.
And we just talk. Talk and see if anybody's listening. So, okay, Jerry Bell says, Craig, tell us about the new hospital that TV isn't building down south.
Well, because of the fact that they're not building it, there isn't a whole lot to say. But I'm going to use that little prompt there, Jerry, to just tell people, I don't want to scare anybody. I'm not a doomsdayer or anything else. But in regards to healthcare in general, and most specifically with Medicare plans, be prepared for a change in Medicare Advantage plans that is going to be quite severe. Now, do I know all the details about it? No. It's going to be a congressional thing. They're having hearings right now. A lot of people are up in arms about having to have pre-authorized treatments done, and they're fed up with the fact that a lot of their charges, claims are being denied, okay? So I don't know the full details. What I will tell you right now, this is my recommendation. Come October 15th, when open enrollment starts for Medicare Advantage, where you can review your plan, go to your agent, review your plan in light of what's going to happen in 2025. By October, we should know.
Yes. And also, as far as the hospital down there goes, they're putting in more urgent care and emergency rooms in the southern area, I think, in lieu of a new hospital. And are they still arguing over what county to put it in?
Yep.
That's what I thought. They were arguing over Sumter Lake, and that was the problem back then.
Yeah.
Also, getting enough personnel,
Right.
to man another hospital,
Right.
is kind of hard, because they got people coming from all distances for the hospital that we've got. So
Yeah, for those of you who grew up with like a county hospital in your county seat or something like that, there's still a lot of legislative action that's geographically bound. What that means is to have it in Lake or Sumter is going to mean that they're going to get better funding and different things of that sort. So that's really what the territorial. Of course, the tax base doesn't hurt either. As far as those two entities wanting to know what transactions are they going to be able to take credit for, that sort of thing. But no, I wouldn't expect anything soon down there, for sure.
well, and I didn't know until I read everything, and I happened to read something. I did not know that you can't just build a hospital if you want to.
No.
It had the government has
No.
something to do with that. The
very
state
much.
actually has something to do with that, about so many in such an area. And so don't blame the developer because they actually have to get okayed by the government before they can even build one. And I did not know that. I just thought if you got the money you could put one anywhere. And I think a lot of other people thought that too, but that's not actually the case. So. And
No, it's a GoPro battery.
did you forget everything that you ordered?
Santa didn't bring in the right
I was
package.
hoping my RV Onan generator reset switch. I've got it. It's coming. Who knows when I get it? It's coming from Cummins. Big companies like that. We'll mail it out when we get a truckload.
Yeah,
I
well,
never know. Just here's
Yeah.
an extra battery because I'm just wearing stuff out.
okay. Well, and
Want cookie?
I'm good. He's really wearing out the cookies too.
he is. He's asking for trouble. I'm telling you.
He said he had to catch up on some things, and I think the
Eating.
cookies
Yes.
are one of them.
Well, eating is one of them because he lost a lot of weight. But like I said, the cookies he can kind of forego, make sure his teeth okay. I mean, what is it that
How
they
much
tell
longer
you when
am I
you go to the
going?
dentist? Sugar.
We
sugar,
can live
sugar.
without teeth,
Well,
so don't worry about it. You got plenty of time.
if he would do something about that, wouldn't mind if he'd pull them out. But to have to go through what he did the last time,
No way.
no way. Yeah. So
That's the worst I've ever been. I'm telling you. And the system here didn't help at all. And the laws.
Yeah.
God. I need pain medication, but we can't prescribe
Oh,
you
I
anything
know.
until we
It's-
see you.
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
I think my phone has stalled again. I need to empty my phone. It's got too much stuff on it, and it stops. So
Laura, you have asked for that 5-month bridge between the time you retire and the time you're eligible for Medicare. Is it better to go with COBRA or Obamacare? Now, I will tell you that each individual situation is unique. So I always tell, we're going to look at everything uniquely, but
That's how you kill rabbits.
98% of the time, Obamacare is going to be less expensive than your. Of course, then you want to look at the benefits, okay? Just because a premium is lower doesn't mean that you're going to get the same benefits. But a rule of thumb for me, experience has shown that the marketplace plans, Obamacare, are a lot less expensive than your COBRA insurance.
and yes, Jerry was checking with the Border Patrol. Adam Stair says, hello, I have FEHP now as well into retirement and then Medicare in 2 years. Would I need to consider any other health care options?
The only time you would ever consider additional healthcare options with that combination is where you might need, we were just speaking of, we got a subject here, the guinea pig, like dental, vision, hearing. So in other words, if you are requiring some sort of treatment in those three areas, then you may want to consider picking up a supplement. And I don't mean a Medicare supplement, I mean a standalone dental plan, a standalone vision plan, or a
prescription
standalone
plan.
hearing. Yeah. So those are the things that, we try to head off at the pass, is what I call it. So when you're anticipating that transition into the new world of Medicare, it's always good to, vet everything. Look at all the different options. Try to do it at least 3 months before that particular event occurs, whether it be your 65th birthday or you retiring. But that would be the only things that I would think of you would need extra. Comprehensive dental, very similar to some of the procedures that Skip had, maybe some vision and hearing aid type situations.
Okay, Joanne Clegg says hi from Ohio.
Hey.
Mark Berry says hello from a southbound Bright Line train heading to Miami. Oh, tell me what that's like, Mark,
Yeah.
because Deb and I
what you
was going
need
to
to
do that,
do,
and then
film
we
one
seen
of
the
those.
price, and it was kind of pricey for us just to mess around, so we didn't
It
go.
is pricey.
According to the news this morning, Miami's flooded.
Well, they have, like I said, they have a lot of rain that's still going on today. Like I said, it's south of Orlando right now. It's just pouring. Yeah, we got a little bit of rain yesterday. It was nice, but we could use a little bit more.
I noticed that Pedro didn't mow the grass today.
No, he didn't. He didn't come today, and I don't know if.
Probably cause of rain. The ground's soft.
Well, True Green come, and they did.
That had nothing to do with mowing.
Well, but I'm thinking he may have seen True Green and didn't mow, but I didn't see him.
No, it's because the ground's too soft. The mowers are so heavy. We got sandy soil, and if the ground's soft and they mow it, leaves ruts.
And he did all the way around that tree. That's the way he mows.
Not
And
today, he didn't. That's been that way for a long time.
that's what I said. And the True Green guy says, "Tell him not to do that." It's okay. Adam Storr says yes. VSP for eye and United Concordia for dental as supplemental. Those
Good.
work.
Two good companies, yeah.
Yeah. And Laura says Sarasota and Tampa got flooding. Yeah, they did. Like I said, anything south of Orlando, it just dumped on. They were some places were supposed to get a foot, and then maybe that was the Miami area, because there's a system out in the Gulf, and it didn't turn into a hurricane, but we got that kind of rain, and
We're dry as
thank
a bone
goodness.
in there.
When it gets up
We're dry as a bone in there.
around the Carolinas, then it might do something different. So.
Or the day before yesterday. That was possible. Miami could get up to 20 inches of rain. So I
Okay.
guess they got 12.
Paul Roop says, hello, Skip and Sue. You guys are great. Well, thank you. It's my first time chiming in. I have an AARP dental program. It costs me about $65 a month. Yeah, and it's if you have a lot of dental work that you're expecting, it's well worth that money, because I'm telling you, dental, and so far they've turned all of Skip's down. The insurance has turned everything down so far from both dentists. So, we're waiting to hear how much this is going to cost for this little shindig. But yeah, $65 a month, that's not bad for dental. Have a separate dental policy.
The thing with dental, and Skip and Sue will attest to this, of course, a lot's going to happen in the next couple weeks when you get the bills and all that sorted out. But most dental plans, they really act on a co-pay basis, or they should. So if you're looking for a plan, look for one that has a co-pay, that has a list of procedures and the amount that particular dentist has to charge. If you can do that, okay?
And Paul Rip says it's hard to get the dental program to approve procedures. What he found most beneficial is network. Dentists are bound to the pricing structure
There you go.
they have agreed upon.
Just what exactly. Exactly.
And that's a good thing, yeah.
Now, and there's a slight difference in that though too. So even though that's true, a lot of times you don't know what that price is. So if you have a company that will provide you a list of what those reimbursements are, I think that's very important to have in your back pocket.
Right.
Because even though I trust everybody until I don't, different dentists charge different prices. Okay, same procedures, different prices. So if you know what they're getting reimbursed or what you're going to have to pay, that's great going into something like Skip had too. And we never know when that's going to happen.
See, that's the problem with what I see with dental. That's why dental insurance here has been refusing me on my first dentist. Second dentist, I don't think they're ever going to pay that because I'm pretty sure I'm tapped out from the first dentist. But the first dentist was an emergency. I mean, it was just terrible. I went in on an emergency basis, and that's when he looked at it and seen what the problem was and fixed it. Well, the dental insurance is saying that kind of procedure I had done, whatever they called that, had to be pre-approved. Well, how can you pre-approve an emergency?
Yeah, and that might be all the difference in them paying or not paying, since it was an emergency. So,
right.
Joseph Smith says, greetings from Southwest Ohio. Our weather has been absolutely perfect, mid-50s overnight, mid-70s during the day, but a warming trend starting tomorrow. Glad you could do the show today. Well, thank you, Joseph. Yeah, we had that big front that come through that was hot, hot, hot. I mean, it was in the hundreds Saturday in a lot of Florida. And then I said, the rain came, it kind of cooled it down a little bit. And I think we're probably going to get back in the 90s here soon, because we are in Florida. But yeah, it does make a difference. Wrestler says, hi, Skip, just got done with lunch. Tofu clam soup and meatless jerky. Meatless jerky with a no-cal mint chocolate chip milkshake.
Hell, meatless jerky. What the shit is that?
Made it just for you, Skip.
Meatless jerky. Jerky's about meat. How do you have meatless jerky?
Oh my goodness. Oh boy.
Some of them people up there can eat some of the most disgusting stuff.
Yeah. Then he said, let you flip out and then tell you he's joking.
They eat all this to stay really, really healthy, and the next thing you know, they fall down a stairway and break their neck.
Right.
Laura says she'll miss her employee's dental insurance, $12 a month when she retires. Yeah, I was on Skip's insurance, and the reason, I said, when they closed the factory down, I lost my insurance. I went on his insurance because it was $7 a month. You couldn't beat that. But like I said, when he went on Medicare, I could not stay. We couldn't stay on that policy, and so we had to change. He went with the village's insurance. I went with the outside insurance. So we know both sides of it, actually. And I said, I seen somebody said that they had a problem with the Advantage plan, and I wasn't sure who that was. Somebody had mentioned it on Porch Settin. Or maybe it was Phil Beard. But anyhow, we run into that with his sister. She's on an Advantage plan. And I said, well, she had to go to rehab after she had her hip operation. She broke her hip. And they put her in rehab, and the difference between what Medicare would have paid, the amount of days that Medicare would have paid for her to be there, and the amount that the Advantage plan paid for her to be there was two different things. And I did not know that at the time. That was the first time.
When I say kicked her out, I mean they loaded her up in a nurse's car. The nurse took her to her house, unlocked the door, took her inside, set her down, got in the car, and went home. That was it. 2 days later, sis falls, breaks her hip, lays on the floor for 2 days, and it had been for her neighbor, nobody cared.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's one of those things. I wasn't aware of something like that would happen with an Advantage plan. But they take over your Medicare. When you go with a Medicare Advantage, they take over your Medicare. So be aware of that.
Well, not only that, but I think they have a lot to say about what kind of medicine. Like if a doctor prescribes a certain medicine to you, it costs you a hell of a lot more to get that as if you get what's the other one called?
Generic type.
Generic. Yeah, if you get generic, it pays like almost all of it. So I have a lot of generic pills, and I can tell you, as to 10 years later, I don't think I've ever paid any kind of a copay for my pills.
No, for your pills you have.
I have 3 basic pills: blood pressure, cholesterol, and heartburn.
Yeah,
so
it takes the Trinity.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. Elizabeth Chamberlain says, hi, Skip and Sue, can you get a dental plan through AARP if you currently have another dental plan?
Yeah.
You mean 2 dental plans?
Yeah, you can't have concurrent or 2 at the same time because, let's say, obviously they're not going to each pay for the same service. Technically, you could have 2 if you want to pay 2 premiums, but there's probably an advantage over the other, that you're going to want to stay with one. And again, you can only submit claims on one.
Yeah, they're not, one of them's not going to pay half and the other pay half.
Right.
That's not the way it works. So.
Right.
Okay. Laura Lampy says, I pay $12 per month for dental insurance now. Won't be that cheap when I retire. No, it won't. And I said, depending on what kind of insurance you get, whether you go with an Advantage plan or the what do they call it when it's a complete
Supplement.
Okay.
Or a med
supplement.
sup or a Medigap.
Yeah.
That's the term.
Do your homework because they're different. And
again, I've always stayed away from pricing and recommendations of plans on this channel, but it's worth a call. And I can tell you within moments, at least on the dental plan side of things, what your best bet's going to be. Again, it all depends. For people moving here new, you're kind of at a disadvantage because you don't know what dentist to go to. And what dentist you go to is going to be lined up with what network a plan offers. So in other words, we can look at some things and give you some options, some choices. And that's the biggest thing, knowing what you need and then, having choices to make on your own.
Jackie Van Auken says, Skip, when you have time, would you please email me your email address? I finally got the Discord to work. Thank you.
The email address is below every video. Every video.
Yeah, but Jerry, would you put that up for her, please?
Yeah, Jerry will put it up for you. Jerry's my secretary.
And John Keller says, Jerry Bell, we just got home and signed up for tomorrow's tea time. William says, stuffed cabbage with a marinara sauce and garlic bread tonight. Oh, that sounds good. What
location is that? What's the address?
Yeah, William, what's that address? We'll come over.
I don't know who that was, but he was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's Tony.
Who?
Tony. He lives down the street. They have a Shih Tzu also. It's Buddy's buddy.
Yeah,
the kids know each other.
We can't hardly take Buddy around other dogs. He wants to hump everything.
Well, now he never has Avy.
She takes him to dog playtime. She said that they make her leave because he humps every other dog out there. I keep saying, well, quit taking him. There's no such thing as doggy playtime.
Well, I said he needs to get some of that energy.
Human thing.
You need to get rid of some of that energy.
He was a wild dog. He wouldn't have doggy playtime.
Hey, you come out 5 minutes, play with him, and then go back in your tomb.
So
he needs extra play.
He got plenty in the house. He can run around and chase
with me. Yeah, that's what I said. I get tired sometimes. I take him there to let him play.
He's your dog.
Yeah. Restormania says, question. I have level 7 VA coverage, copays level. How do I handle Medicare with that level of VA coverage? Any suggested supplement with Medicare? I already got separate dental, eye, and hearing aid coverage.
Okay, so when we deal with VA, usually what I strongly encourage, in fact, I don't know of a situation where I haven't done this, keep obviously your VA coverage. You are allowed to get a Medicare plan in addition to that, if you'd like. One of the things that the plans here in the villages, at least, their Medicare Advantage plans do not have a prescription drug component. And we all know that the VA medications, the filling of scripts, is a lot cheaper than anywhere you can go. Right. So, just to recap that real quick, WrestleMania, keep your VA coverage. With a zero premium Medicare Advantage plan, you will have the choice of whether you want to go to the VA for services or if you want to go private insurance. So it's not going to cost you anything to get the plan. It'll only cost you when you get services done, and that's at the point that you want to do that instead of VA, or you want to get a second opinion or something like that. So my VA clients keep their VA. Most all of them go to the VA. The only time they don't is if there is some sort of surgery or a chronic disease that they want a second opinion on, and then they'll use their Advantage plan.
Okay. Mr. Williams, Mr. Rizzo says, William, sounds good. What time should we come over? That's stuffed cabbage. I haven't had stuffed cabbage in a long time. Wrestler says, dental, eye, hearing aids not covered on level 7 VA healthcare coverage.
Mm-hmm. But it would be on a Medicare Advantage.
Oh, okay.
Okay? So that's another reason. other than having the ability to go to a doctor that's not in the VA system or get a second opinion. Those three benefits, the trinity, if we want to call it that again, the hearing, the dental, and the vision are covered on a Medicare Advantage plan. However, to go back to something I mentioned before, the dental is very important to look at because it's preventative dental, not comprehensive dental. So things like x-rays, fluoride treatment, cleaning of teeth, that's preventative. What Skip had done is comprehensive. So those plans aren't necessarily going to cover those, or if they do, it's for a limited dollar amount. That's why a standalone plan might be worth it. And there are plans out there where you can literally get enrolled in the dental chair, okay, and take effect.
Okay. Richard Wessner says, hi, Skip and Sue from Virginia Beach. Well, hi, Virginia Beach.
Yeah, Virginia Beach.
I imagine you're probably having pretty good weather up there, too. And Jerry has Craig's number and email. Jerry, would you list Skip's email, please?
Thank you, Jerry.
Yeah. Elizabeth Chamberlain says, Sue, I met the max on my dental plan for the year, so I wanted to know if I could use another plan as a backup. Yeah, and that's what I mean. Yeah, they won't, insurance companies won't do that. So they won't, you got a regular dental plan, they're not going to come along with another dental plan and back that up. I said, it's one or the other.
You say Jerry put up his phone number? I don't see it.
He put Craig's up.
I don't see it.
Well,
Where do you see it at?
right there. It says Jerry Bell.
And you can always email me with that dental question. We can
Oh,
have
I
a
see it.
sidebar. I can give you a few ideas.
Is your email still Fabian Insurance?
Craig at Fabian, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So yes, we could have a little sidebar chat or email conversation. I can give you some ideas, especially with more than 6 months left in the year, if you need additional services.
Randy and Don McManus, I can't say that. They said they can't hear Skip very well. And that's
because the microphone's on.
Yeah, they're sharing a microphone over here.
I got nothing to say that's important anyway. Here's the guy with all the information, not me.
Yeah. And William says Rizzo head over now with several bottles of wine. So he'll feed you if you bring the wine. How's that?
Oh, not bad.
And Rizzo says his wife drank all the wine. Way to go, Keys. Leon Schultz says, we will be moving to the Villages in 2 years after my wife retires. We are in Pennsylvania. If we choose regular Medicare and we move to Florida, can we then choose to change to a Medicare Advantage?
Yes. Medicare Advantage plans are county specific. So even though the Villages compromises is composed of 3 distinct counties, the biggest one being Sumter, obviously. It'll soon be Lake the way that they're going. But nonetheless, it's still Sumter. Yeah, you have to, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan, you have to change. If you have a Medicare supplement plan like Sue, you do not, as far as that goes. And then, of course, your core Medicare, Parts A and B, they'll cover you, that's anywhere. It's universal. But yeah, if you have a Medicare Advantage plan in another state or another county for that matter, then yes, you do have to change.
That leads me to something that a guy asked me about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
I made a statement on something I did, saying that you could change your Medicare plan from Advantage to regular Medicare, and the guy sent me an email saying it's to his understanding that once you pick a plan out for Medicare, you cannot change it. And I thought I remember you saying there was
you can change.
So you can change your Medicare plan.
You can. It's a little bit tricky, and it's not something you can do like right away or anything. You
take some time.
You have to wait for the enrollment periods. Okay. So let's just say you had a Medicare Advantage plan and you wanted to get a Medicare supplement plan. Okay. So you would have to go from Medicare Advantage back to traditional Medicare and then get a supplement. The only problem in that is Medicare Supplement is the only health care plan in the country that pre-existing conditions can hurt you. So if you have enrolled, or if you're going to change after your 65 and 6-month-year-old birthday, you are subject to some questions, some medical questions. And if you answer yes to any of those, they will not give you a supplement. Can it be done? Yes, it can be done. There's a clear path to do that. What you want to be careful of before you do it is get a copy of those questions first, see if you're going to get knocked out right away, and that'll influence your decision.
Keith's Time in the Villages says, I am 64 this month. I am collecting Social Security. I have marketplace insurance. When do I apply for Medicare, or will they just send it to me?
Okay. So the big question is whether or not you're going to be turning 65, I'm assuming, as far as Medicare goes. So 3 months prior to your birth month, you can apply for Part B, B as in boy, Medicare. There's a link I can send you online. It's an online enrollment, online application. Do it 3 months. That's the earliest you can do it, 3 months prior. You'll get your number, and then you can start shopping for a supplement or Medicare Advantage. So it's that 3-month window prior to your birth month.
Okay. And Wrestler says, question, did they charge a large amount of money on Skip's dental work because Skip's mouth is much bigger than the average person?
Now, it has more use. We don't know about the size, but
There's a lot of miles on it.
Angelo Levesque says, this is the most boring session I've ever seen. Well, Angelo, these are questions that people have, and that's kind of what we do. We want to answer your questions if you're interested in coming down here, or if you already live here. We want to answer your questions, and we just happen to be fortunate enough to have Craig with us, and he knows all about Medicare, and so people have questions. So, I know it may be boring to you, but just hang in there.
I'll be gone in a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, Trump 2024 says about time Skippy let somebody else talk. Okay. Let's see. Hey, Phil B. says, Wrestler, what you're talking about is the Medigap plan. Okay, I missed that part, so. 134 watching, only 27 likes. That's right. Hit that like button, guys. We go by that to see if anybody cares about what we're doing or not.
Yeah.
It gives us a lot to go by, and it doesn't take anything. You just hit that thumbs up button, and let us know you're there. Uncle Phil, how's Dad? Is he doing better?
Still on here?
Yeah. And let's see. Oh, and Keys Time says, thank you, Craig.
Do you come to the villages on a regular basis? Like every Wednesday,
Every Wednesday. It usually ends up being 2 days, but definitely every Wednesday.
So if somebody in the villages has a lot of questions or wants
Right.
to talk to you about something, make the appointment, and they can figure like on a Wednesday you're going to come by.
Right.
And,
So 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays is what my availability is.
Okay.
Every week. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Phil, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, 2024 says, what about prescription medicine?
what about it? If it's pain medication, you ain't going to get any. That's what pisses me off around here. You could suffer in pain and die, but the law says we can only give you 3 days worth of pain medication.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
goodness.
prescription drugs. Okay. First of all, if you just stick with A and B Medicare. So in other words, that's the basic, traditional, stripped down version of any Medicare. You are going to have to, in fact, it's a compliance thing that you have to buy a prescription drug plan, even if you're not taking any medications. You said, Craig, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why do we have to do that? Well, it's not.
Craig, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Why do we have to do that?
It's because if you don't enroll at the time that you get your A and B, they're going to penalize you. So even if you're not taking prescription drugs at that time, you have to get a Part D. Now, how do you do that? Well, if you stick with A and B, you can pick up a Part D plan for $0 premium. okay? Even if you don't take medications. If you get a Medicare Advantage plan, it is included in your Medicare Advantage plan. You have to pay for the cost of medications, obviously, in any of these plans. And then the Med Sup or Medigap, WrestlerMania, those are synonymous. Medicare Supplement and Medigap are the same. You have to buy a separate standalone plan. So,
And I have a Humana plan
Right.
outside of my Florida Blue.
and again, they've made it attractive to folks on the plan, the Part D, to have a zero premium plan. You're going to pay for the cost of medications, though. Just keep that in mind. So, what you should expect from a consultant, an agent, a broker is you give them a list of your medications, they tell you what they're going to cost. They'll know that well before you sign on the dotted line, and they should do that as far as that goes.
Right. Mark Sears says, I try to remember to like all of the YouTubers I subscribe to, but at 69 years old, I forget sometimes. Well, we're reminding you, Mark. Go hit that like button. Oh, and there's Judy.
Judy.
You know, this might be a good time, too, to mention there are several different ways to fulfill your prescription or fill your prescription. One is obviously using your plan. But remember, there are discount programs like GoodRx. There's a Canadian pharmacy to the south and the north of us here in the Villages. And if it's not a chronic, ongoing decision, for instance, Skip, what if your doctor said, hey, let's try this for 3 months? Go ahead, tell me.
Try it.
Yeah.
Hey, why
say-
did my doctor said try this for 3 months?
Yeah. So, hey, we're going to try this for 3 months and we'll see what it does. Ask them for samples. They have them. So
Yes, yes.
if it's an ongoing chronic thing you're going to be on forever, don't do that. But if it's, hey, let's try it for 3 months, try to get samples.
And when we were talking the other day, Skip gets his medications from the mail. They do mail order pharmacy, and we never pay for them. But, and I do too when I have something that I have to get. But I did notice that changing from one medicine to another, like I said, the other medicine might be more expensive, and so they may charge you. I've never had to with his, but that doesn't mean that you never will. Like if you have something that's very expensive, then they might charge you a nominal fee.
William, stop it! Why won't my plan cover my marijuana prescription?
I'll give it time.
He's got
Yeah.
a point. It's legal and it's a doctor
Yeah.
prescription.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's getting a lot of discussion,
Yeah, I
okay?
say give it time.
Between life insurance and underwriting and having a medication, a script for marijuana use, to paying for medical marijuana through your health plan. There's a lot of discussion now, but obviously they're still saying those are not covered.
So when a doctor, supposedly Dr. Patel, gives you a prescription for marijuana, is it a
You can-
prescription or is it just
No.
a recommendation?
No, you can fill it, and that's why you have your medical marijuana card.
But I know if it's a prescription, then why isn't insurance paying for it?
Because
Well,
there
part
is,
of it.
this is going to drive Angelo
The
crazy.
pharmacies don't have
Because
it.
I'm getting into the weeds here, Angelo, so just hang with me.
Yeah.
But it's called a formulary. Think of it as a book, you know, like a big catalog with all the different prescriptions in there. And they're all tiered, and the tiers have different pricing structures. So if it's not in the book, we're not going to pay for it.
There you go.
How does it get in the book?
They have pharmacists and doctors and all that research the use of that particular. So in other words, if they see that medical marijuana is a good treatment for certain diseases or preventative of diseases,
Here's how I
they're going
see
to
it.
add it.
Most medicine that's been approved is federally been approved by the
Right.
FDA or whatever.
Right.
Marijuana is a state-approved thing. It's not a federal
Right.
thing. Federal says it's still against the law. So I'm saying as long as the federal says it's against the law, it'll never be in that book. But
Probably
the state-
not,
but the state
because-
says,
right.
You know, Florida's one. I think California's one, and who knows, Oregon probably.
Because that's a Medicare thing. So it's a national, it's a
Carol.
governmental agency.
Missy
yeah.
Moe says, hello from Michigan. Cannot watch too long. Need to bag and freeze our fresh walleye caught yesterday.
Oh, Oh man.
Walleye's good.
Oh yeah, from Michigan. Yeah. And let's see. Rizzo says, William, it's a recommendation, not a prescription, or so I'm told. I don't know. Joey Anderson, do you see a lot of changes coming from Medicare Supplement G? We live in Missouri.
No.
Okay.
Do you see any changes in Medicare in the future?
Advantage. So when I started out, I said if there's any year that you want to get back to your agent, broker, consultant, or the company you're working with, a representative from there, on October 15th, when open enrollment season starts, get together with them to review your plan. And the reason I say that is there are going to be changes in 2025. We don't know specifically what they are, but there will be changes. Medicare supplements are the gold standard, and I don't mean that the others aren't good. I'm just saying the gold standard is Medicare supplements or Medigap. And no, I don't see any changes in there. The only thing I've seen is some of the companies are adding things on to their plans, but it's just like it's like an option on a car. I'm old enough, living in Florida as a native, to know that not every car came with air conditioning. Can you believe it?
We stayed at a hotel in Key West one year that didn't have any heat.
Yeah. So these options, they're not charging you for them, but I'm thinking from a competitive marketing perspective, the Plan G and all the other Medisups might offer you some more little tidbits here and there, but you're not going to see any core changes going forward as far as that goes.
Tony K says, if you have Part D, are you allowed not to use Part D and pay for the prescription through GoodRx or some other discount program?
Yes.
And I have
Yes.
done it before.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
and
encourage you to do that.
I think GoodRx is wonderful.
Yeah.
I just, when I had a lot of medicines that I had to take, that it really come in handy because it really cut the amount down to a doable level.
and don't know if you realize this or not, you can get it from the same pharmacy. So it's not like you have, because you're using GoodRx, you have to go somewhere else. In fact, that pharmacist has that price on his computer. When he takes your prescription drug card, ask him what the GoodRx price is, or her, and make your decision based on that.
Do you have to be a member or something?
It's
You
free.
go online and they can give you a paper that you can print out that has a number on it.
Yeah. A lot of them still let you do
I
it.
was going to say, why isn't everybody doing that then? If it saves you $1
They
and it's free.
Don't know. A lot of people don't know about it.
They
and
think you have to use your prescription drug card with your plan.
That's
why.
what I thought. I didn't know.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
What are the things I learn when you're around?
I tell you what.
Wrestler says the Medicare is known for its large prescription donut hole coverage. So why does Dunkin' Donuts keep denying my claim?
These are my followers right here. This is my people.
Okay.
Well, it could be the type of donut that you're requesting.
Yeah.
We were in the donut hole every year for I can't tell you how long. It's almost it's just awful to do that, to fall in that donut hole every year.
Well, and that's why a good advocate will take that list for you and determine. They may not keep you out of the donut hole, but they can keep you from going in, like delay it or defer it. And the way you could do that is by using GoodRx and things like that. So, you may end up there anyway just because of the price but maybe we can defer it. Maybe we can push it off into the year.
We didn't know you then, and we figured it out, or she did. What did you do to stay out of the donut hole? Well, we still pay the money, but it's like spread out.
Yeah. But I've got a Medigap plan, and I said it cost me so much a month, but it's still cheaper than what it would have been if I was on the Medigap.
And see, you did your homework. A lot of people don't. They don't even know what book to pull out to do the homework.
Tell her everything.
But and that's why again, complimentary services, advice is free. Yes, I know.
Yeah.
There's no free lunch, but
I've done
there
it
is
so
free
long I
broker
know who to
service.
ask. So, let's see.
do you offer free broker service?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't charge for advice.
Oh, really?
No, the insurance companies pay me.
So you don't charge to show up at the house, whatever they call that, like the plumber charges. If he does nothing, you owe him $100 because he showed up.
No, no.
You don't have a bench fee.
Yeah. But Arnold Palmer with sweet tea is always accepted.
There you go.
There you go.
BX Staff Home says, bottom line, you need the best Medicare supplement and the best prescription plan along with Part B. It will cost a couple,
There you go.
upwards of $1,000 a month. That mine doesn't, but yeah, you do need the best you can get.
Yep.
And I said, with the supplement, you do have to have your dental, your eye, the hearing. You know, that's all outside of the insurance plan, so you have to get that separate. But like I said, I've got a Humana policy that's an extra a month, and I said they've got small ones, they've got expensive ones, depends on what you want covered, but it works.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And Keys tells wrestler that donuts are cooked in animal fat.
Not necessarily. It could be vegetable oil.
Yeah.
Actually, you get out west, vegetable oil is almost a non-commodity anymore. They've all went to canola oil.
Ooh.
Because there's more of it in Kansas. All the farmers in Kansas are now are planting canola
I heard that's
fields.
not good for
the
you.
price is high.
Yeah.
So I don't know the difference myself.
Can you air fry a donut? Ask WrestleMania. Can you air fry a donut?
I'm sure you can.
I don't know. I'm
What's
not
his wife's name again?
healthy home cooking.
Missy Mo says husband and I are close to 70, and so far no prescription drugs for us.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, and hopefully it won't catch up with you, but I have noticed a lot of things. I didn't take anything outside of the treatments that I take for my illness. I didn't take extra, cholesterol, blood pressure, or anything like that. But as I get older, I see it coming. So.
Well, my problems, everything I've got that's wrong with me right now is actually stems from trucking. Everything. From bad lower back pain, bouncing around in a truck all day, to high blood pressure and getting fat, eating
Fat
truck
food,
stops,
yeah, fast food.
which is
And
no
yep.
good.
Yeah,
So,
I bet right now your blood pressure is probably doing pretty good.
when I got down to, I will say this, when I got down to 220, none of my shorts fit. I walked through the house one day and my pants just fell off. Which
That happened to a guy at the square the other day.
Yes, I seen that.
It wasn't me, I wasn't up actually, they still don't fit. Matter of fact, Mrs. Rizzo, we're going to meet tomorrow and have some lunch at my favorite rib place.
Uh-huh.
And that they all got the invitation on my Discord. So if you're not a Patreon member, right? We do a lot of stuff on Discord.
Yeah.
And I think you told me you're on Discord a lot to
Yep.
answer questions
Yes.
or whatever. And,
Yep.
I get on Discord when we in between editing videos and stuff. I get on Discord a lot. By the way, you guys are going to see a lot of shorts on the news, so I'm trying to get caught up.
Not your shorts, but
Yeah.
new
Not
shorts.
the shorts that fell off. But anyway, long story short, I got down to 220 pounds. I felt like shit. I was weak. I just didn't feel good. I just felt terrible. So I'm not sure losing that kind of weight for me is even going to work because
Fast.
I just felt terrible.
When you do it that fast, it's not good.
No, and then when they finally got it to the point where I could kind of eat a little bit, soft foods really, like tomatoes and cottage cheese and pudding cups. I went through a lot of pudding cups.
Went through a lot of pudding cups. So he's putting that weight on a little bit at a time.
Yeah, I weighed myself this morning. I do it every morning, and I'm up to about 231. And at 231, I don't feel too bad. But then again, I don't have the pain, and I'm taking the medicine. So I don't know what threw me off.
Laura says, I'll need 6 months of Medicare training to pick the right plan. Yeah, it's arduous
Medicare
going through that
training?
because there's a lot. There really
needs to take
is.
the short
To
course
find
at
the one that's
Craig.
right
Just
for
call
you. And yeah, it's. Oh, and Elizabeth says she likes your new shorts. Oh, your news shorts.
Oh,
Your news shorts.
News shorts.
News,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I have a question, Skip.
Wow.
Why is it called Discord when it's really Accord?
I have no idea. That's just what it's called.
It makes it sound like you're separating people. We're
We
bringing
are.
people together.
Well, I know we are, but the same thing at Discord, we are not on any kind of
Okay.
a public platform. Anybody that's on my
There you go.
Discord is a member of either, well, actually, it's a member of my Patreon. And I've often thought maybe this is a little unfair. Nobody on there is a YouTube member. Everybody on there is a Patreon member. That's one of the benefits of becoming a patron of mine. You can go to Discord, 24/7. You guys have access 24/7.
Yep.
The guys get on there all the time and they shoot the bull.
Yeah, especially Jose.
He puts up pictures
Yeah.
and stuff, and you know.
Yeah, and somebody said Jose was on a video.
Yeah, I went and looked for it. I didn't see it.
Oh, and Jerry, send that to us. We'd like to see that.
Jerry might have been pulling our leg. I don't know.
Well, that could
You
be.
know how Jerry is.
Okay, William Rizzo says Discord started out as a gaming app.
Oh, okay. Well, they still
Ah.
play games on there because Phil B plays games on there.
Yeah,
I
and,
don't know
and
how to
there's
do it, but he does.
different ones.
The thing about Discord is, it's a game like, say you want to play checkers with two people. Two people can play it on Discord. Like I could play checkers with him.
Oh, okay.
And he moves, I move back and forth. I mean, of course, nobody does that. They're all playing to shoot 'em up and fly the airplane, you know, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I have my own channel once you get to Discord.
Yes.
And then I said I put my my recipe for my cherry delight and my noodles on there. Of course, that's that's probably way in the history.
well, that's the very first thing.
Yeah.
You got to go scroll all the way to the top, and you'll see her stuff right there.
Yeah.
Then anything in between is I have no idea because I don't. It's a woman channel, so I don't go there.
Your cookbook's on there too, right?
Well,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I said there's pictures of Buddy on there and
Right.
just stuff like that he would not appreciate. And so yeah.
Good.
And Phil says Discord is a chat and video forum. And there's lots of gamers, and I know there is a lot of gamers. I just
But only my whole point of all this is, my Discord is for my YouTube or Patreon members only. Nobody else is on there, so you're not going to get somebody on there that's going to make a nasty comment like, "This is the most boringest thing I ever saw." They're not on there. Oh, I'm sorry.
yeah. Phil had to go take care of Dad. He said he'd be right back. Okay. So what are y'all going to do today?
Yeah.
I said it's going to be a nice day. I said it's not going to rain here. I don't think.
Humidity.
They
is
were
terrible.
talking about the humidity is pretty much up there.
I'm sitting here sweating underneath this.
Yeah, but like I said, most of the rain looks like it's south of us. So, and it's warming up really
Get
good.
home at night when you're done
We got a lot of
down there,
clouds,
There's no regular
But
time.
it's warming up really
Well, if I
good.
stay till 8,
Yeah,
home
but
by 9.
I was
So when you
looking
come-
at.
When you come from Gainesville down here, you're here basically all day. You take a lunch down here and all that. Well, call me next time. We'll meet you for lunch somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty
That's
flexible.
what he said. If somebody wanted information,
Yeah.
I said, would you say Lopez or Palmer?
You
Either
know
one.
what? Once you're mobile, and I know, it takes X amount of time to get from the north to the south these days, but once you're mobile, it's just relative. I'll tell you my favorite hangout, like if I'm just killing time, so to speak. Of course, I always have my computer, but I always go to Panera at Lake Sumter Landing.
Panera Bread?
Yeah, I'm always
Which one?
Quick.
At Lake Sumter.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
big. That's
So I started there. My first experience with the villages was Lake Sumter, and I've just kind of gone to that as a default. But I'm everywhere.
I remember years ago. Of course, they only had Spanish Springs back then. And on our way home from Orlando, where we took the grandkids down there, we would stop at Spanish Springs, and we stopped at either, what's that restaurant that's not there anymore?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. There was an Italian restaurant on the corner.
Augustine's.
Augustine,
Oh yeah,
originally.
with the underground
Yeah,
beer
they had all that
taps
stuff.
and
Yeah,
We'd
they had
go
the
there
outside
for
beer,
either,
yeah.
a lunch and sit outside with the grandkids, or we would stop at Panera Bread down there, and you could eat outside there too, and we get a bite to eat with the grandkids there. And it seemed like those two places was always one of the last stops we made before we left because we were dragging our feet really, 'cause we didn't want to leave.
yeah.
Yeah. Tony
Yeah.
K says, if you move to the village from out of state, will your G supplement change in price if both places have your same company supplying the G supplement?
Chances are, first of all, no. But some people like to be able to change those because of a move. I will tell you, Florida is one of the highest prices. So if you have one in Pennsylvania and you're moving here, look to see first what the premium is, but you do not have to change
Okay.
But the price will change.
if you change to Florida. Yeah. But again, a supplement is like,
Rizzo says the dew point's 76. That's why it feels so sticky. Yeah, it does. And it hasn't, the last couple of weeks it's been kind of nice, but yeah, today is pretty sticky. John Keller says, but what is the wind chill factor? We don't have wind chill factor
Negative.
here. We have feels like.
That's funny
It's
because
98, but it feels like 104.
the 10 years I've been down here, I've never heard that. In Indiana, you heard it every day.
Yeah.
right.
And Paul Rip says, thank you, Craig. They appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.
Good.
You're very welcome.
Let's see.
If you got any Medicare questions, Social Security questions, Florida insurance, what's good, what's bad, what's best for you, I'm telling you, we've talked to a lot of people around here. I have never met anybody more knowledgeable than Craig. And all this information is free. Just call him up, set the appointment. He'll come to your house and you tell him what you got, and he'll show you 2 or 3 options.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
It's true.
And Jerry has
Sure.
put the link up for Jose and his flying club.
Oh, Flying Club. That's what it was.
He does the e-flyers. Is
Yes.
that what it is? Yeah.
I
thought
need
he
to
was-
catch up with
I
them.
thought he was flying up to pick Jerry up and flying him down here for lunch tomorrow. That's
That's
what
what,
Jerry said.
and like I said, it's a little bitty plane.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to get together with those guys. That sounds like fun.
What?
Those e-flyer guys.
Those
Oh, yeah.
e-flyers, I've known quite a bit of in Indiana when I used to do a lot of drone up there, and you run into e-flyers all the
Yeah.
time. And those guys are really deep into it. They're not like drone flyers.
Right.
Drone flyers are really basically in for the pictures and stuff like that. E-flyers are in it for, they're in it for the skin. They will build their own planes. They will rebuild the motors. They have kits in the back of their car that's just extensive. I mean, they really into it. I saw one guy, he had a jet. It looked like the president's jet,
Oh my gosh.
and made the noises and everything. I mean, this thing was like 10 feet long,
Yeah.
and he flew it.
Yeah.
And he landed it. I mean, that's the e-flyers. They get into it.
Paul Roop says he's got to go. Have a great week.
The other thing
Um,
they do up north, you don't really see down here, that I always thought seemed like if you're a little bit of disabled, you can't walk very much, can't stand very long or whatever. I thought it was kind of, remember the guys that used to, they had the obstacle course out there, and they had the remote control sailboats.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That was cool.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they could actually work the sails to get them.
I always stop there at Spanish
Yeah.
Springs to watch them because it was just so. It's such a beautiful area there, and that little lake behind Hacienda.
It is.
And,
yeah.
and like I said, my granddaughter the same way. She loved doing there to feed the ducks, but it was just so pretty looking at
Our
that.
grandkids feed the wildlife. We tell everybody else you're not supposed to do that. Our grandkids did too. How do you tell them no?
Phil
I
wants to
know,
know
it's
if you can
hard.
speak to the transition to hospice from Medicare Advantage.
Huh?
Phil wants to know if you can speak
Oh.
to hospice, the transition from hospice to Medicare Advantage.
Yeah. So
From.
so sometimes you may get involved in that particular palliative care, sometimes that they call, is much like a skilled nursing facility. So the transition would be just like, going to one of those, again, skilled nursing facilities as far as that goes. Usually there's a certain amount of time, like 120 days, that somebody can spend in there without you then picking up the cost of that. So remember what I think Sue mentioned as well. Medicare gives control of the health care to the Medicare Advantage company. So even though you need A and B to get a Medicare Advantage, that company, they take care of the managed care part of it. So whatever you would have normally got with Medicare, you're going to get as well, but it's a different management company. It's going to be the insurance company that handles that. So the only thing I would be concerned of as far as transition goes is running up against that 120-day skilled nursing facility limit.
Yeah. Oh, and Adam, if you go up in the comment section, Craig's email is on there, and his phone number also. Jerry put a link. It's like I said, it's up farther in the comments.
Did you tackle Barbara Ebner's question for Craig?
Not yet.
Craig, can you help? Get close to the microphone. Craig, can you help or direct me to a DE insurance person regarding RX insurance?
DE.
I'm assuming Delaware.
I don't know what DE stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's Delaware, sure. What I would need from you is your zip code. So usually, like I said, a lot of things are county-based, especially on the Advantage side. Of course, if you're talking about a D plan or a drug plan, you don't have an Advantage plan because it's incorporated in there. So you're either on traditional Medicare or a Medigap policy, but give me your zip code and I can give you some people to talk to.
And now it's your turn. Russ Romania made a comment about you. He's talking to Jerry, but it's about you. No, wait a minute. I'll find it here. I think
Does it have to do with donuts?
Jerry says he's looking forward to fly
There it
first
is.
class with
Russ
Jose.
Romania says, Craig is very knowledgeable. One could say he's full of it. These are my people.
That's true. That's true. Full of it.
Jerry says I was looking forward to fly first class with Jose Air. He said that bad weather kept him grounded.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's
Okay.
Your 1 hour's up if you need to cut out.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you much.
Problem.
Here's your.
Anytime. Just drop by.
Before I
Thanks.
take this with me to Gainesville. No. Won't
Not
be here
having
much
you.
longer, but yeah, great having you as well.
Yeah.
Glad to see you're feeling better.
Go
All
get some air
around.
conditioning.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Love the hibiscus.
There you go.
Isn't
Well-
that great?
No, I hate it.
It's coming out
Hibiscus?
soon.
Not that. As it gets thicker, it's just blocking my view to even look over there.
Okay. I grew up on hibiscus.
Did you?
I can do 10 things with hibiscus.
In,
but that's for
in
another
Indiana, I don't know what they were called. I can't remember. But they used to have a flower that bloomed all summer long. We had them around our house too, and they came two colors: white, no three, white, pink, and blue. And they look like a big puff ball, like that,
Oh.
all over the plant.
tree. Really?
And I forget what they're called.
Somebody will
The,
answer.
oh, yeah. Well, I know what they are.
It was like 1,000 little flowers, but they made a big.
It's the ornamental garlic.
Nope. It was yeah, and they're low to the ground, and we had them around the house,
Huh.
and I liked them. You don't see them down here. Most of that stuff that they buy at Lowe's is northern plants, and they won't grow here. But they keep buying them. We'll just keep buying them. They died 15 times in the last 5 years, but let's buy some more. Those will not grow here.
You know what I just realized?
What?
I left my keys in the car.
Oh,
I better get out of here.
How many
You're
times-
in trouble.
How many times have I said don't leave your keys in the golf cart?
I'm not listening.
What if the door's locked?
I got AAA.
there you go. Dressler says, Jerry, we all got to know Jose.
Later, Gator.
One thing for sure is he definitely is not a grounded person. Oh, he would like that, guys. He would like that. Yeah, and Barbara Ebner says, yeah, it's another job, Medicare and insurance in retirement. It is a job. Like I said, it's a lot to have to take in, but it's something that's important. You know, you got to know this stuff.
Hydrangea.
Hydrangea?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Snowballs? Is that what you're
I'm
talking
probably
about?
saying the same wrong name. Hydrangea.
No, that's it. Hydrangea. And
That don't
nice
sound
to do.
right. Hydrangea. No. But something like that.
Okay. There was big old snowballs. Let's see. Barbara Kellen says, thanks for important info on Medicare and gap insurance plus Advantage insurance. Live in Louisiana. I added on calendar for October 15th for changes. Yes, that's one thing we know that time frame comes in every year. Where you've only got a few months to change your insurance if you want to. So remember that, October 15th. I think that's when it starts.
We thank Craig for stopping by. He stops by at a whim. I never call him. He never calls me. He just sent. We was on Discord actually last night, I think. He said, "Are you doing porch setting today?" Because he watched the news, the short news. And on the short news, I might say things that's not relevant today, because I was on medication. And so sometimes I just talk. And what I said was on the news, I seen what he was talking about. I said, well, I got to go to the dentist tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll be on porch setting or not. Depends on how I feel. Well, that news was done a week ago. And so that's why, anyway. But it worked out. he sent me a thing on Discord, wanted to know if we was going to do porch setting today after the dentist office. And I said, yeah, we're going to do it. And I said, well, you want to stop by? He said, well, I can stop by for an hour. He's got an appointment somewhere. That's why I reminded him.
Yeah.
And he stops by to help answer questions. That's it. Because I know that when you get ready to retire, one of the first things you're going to do is all about insurance. Your Medicare, your Social Security, get it started. Do I need this insurance in Florida or that insurance in Florida? What about military? What do they call that? TRICARE. And Craig knows it all. I mean, it don't do no good me to flip my lip at you because I don't know anything, but Craig knows it all. And he's really a super, super smart guy to get this stuff. He even got somebody, and I forget who it was, they had railroad retirement or something, and railroad
Next door.
people can't draw Social Security, right? Something like that. And whatever it was, in the state they were from, they couldn't transition in this Medicare system. They just wouldn't do it. And he comes down here, I said, call Craig. Craig came over, talked to him. 2 hours later, Craig's leaving the house, and he got it. So when somebody tells me you can't leave Medicare and go to another Medicare plan, they don't allow that, I don't know. I'm going to ask Craig. I just did. You heard me ask him. And that's exactly what somebody told me. They said, you cannot leave one Medicare and go to another. Craig just told you. Yes, you can.
And they do have all the insurance centers and all the doctor's offices that's in the Village Health. They have an insurance center in there, but don't be surprised if they don't turn you toward the Advantage plan, because that's what they do. But they do, you can ask questions there. And Craig's number is 352-317-8992 or Craig@FabianInsurance.com. So, if you got questions, come and ask him because he had to leave.
Hydrangeas. Hydrangeas.
Hydrangeas,
That sounds like, that ain't what I said a while ago. Hydrangeas. I think that's it. Yeah, the little brown, I like those. You can't grow them here.
I know what you're talking about. Now, I don't know that you
I
can
brought
grow
stuff down here that Dad used to grow for years. Cactus. Wouldn't you think in the state of Florida, just like a desert, that cactus would grow here? The answer to that is no. I had 4 or 5 cactus plants that Dad's always had. I set them outside where in the heat of the sun and whatever. Slowly but surely, I noticed they were deteriorating. 2 years later, they're all dead.
Yeah. But now my cactuses are doing great. They're actually overflowing.
What cactus? We ain't got no cactus.
What do you think that is on the back porch?
That's not cactus. That's, what's that stuff you rub on your burns?
It's a cactus.
No. I pulled them on the back porch because outside in the sun, they were turning brown. They were dying. Plants here can't take the sun and the heat here. You put them in the shade, you might be okay if you water them. But you leave them out in the sun will bake them.
Okay, let's see. Mary Louise, I really don't know. She says the 120-day cap on hospice, a lifetime total. I don't know that that's something you'll have to ask Craig. So give him a call or send him an email and ask him that because I really don't know.
Aloe plant. That's what those are.
Well, it is not an aloe a cactus, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it is.
I'm just telling you, cactus I know has stickers and stuff on it. Those ain't got stickers on them.
Okay. Let's see.
It's going to rain.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Yeah, well, in the afternoon, usually. That's funny, when Jerry was down here, he was expecting the afternoon rains every day. I don't think it ever rained while he was here.
Okay. Let's see. yeah, it's right, Barbara. It's just one of those things, And Missy Mo says hydrangeas. Yeah. A rester says, Sue, we got peppers, 4 different types of tomato plants growing in real soil, kale, different types of lettuce, and a few different herbs. I just wish I could get the dirt grown ones. Those would be
the tomatoes.
Yeah, the tomatoes. Well, all the other stuff too. You can tell the difference if they're grown in dirt or grown in sand. And they do a lot of hydroponics down here, and it's good. Now, I suppose if you've never been anywhere else, if you're a native Floridian and that's what you're used to, then it tastes okay to you. But, we're used to the black dirt. We're used to Kentucky, Tennessee,
We're
Indiana.
used to cow poop. Yeah. That's what we're used to in the flower beds.
So there's just such a different taste in the vegetables.
She bought pieces on the other day. I ended up throwing one away. Couldn't even eat them. They were hard as a rock.
Well, and I said, you like them harder than I do anyhow. So I
Not
didn't.
that. Those were so hard. They picked them too early. They were super green because they don't bruise during shipping. That's the reason why they do that. Well, by the time they get to the store, they're hard as a rock. And unless you let them set in the windowsill somewhere for a month, and then they don't taste right.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I would. There's.
You're gonna find the fruits and vegetables down here is a lot to be desired.
Like I said, if you're
Much like
native,
the pizzas.
if you're native, you know, then it's not a bad deal. But like if you had the other kind, you can really tell the difference.
Phil Beard said, cactus-like, but not a cactus.
Okay. Well, I've always heard it as an aloe cactus. So, and they do have stickers. Keith says they do have stickers, and they do.
Ours don't. We've got 3 pots full of them, and I pick them up all the time. There's no stickers on them.
Okay, Em says it's pouring at her house in Port St. Lucie. She can see it on her camera. Yeah, everything south of Orlando, they're just getting really deluged with water. Like I said, yesterday and today, and I think maybe tomorrow. We've been lucky, you know. They said it was going to rain here about 11 o'clock, but as you can see, it's clouded up a lot. But it hasn't rained yet. So we could use it, actually. I wouldn't mind.
I find that the villages, for some strange reason, when it comes to a lot of these rainstorms that come out of the Tampa area, and that's where most of them come from, is out of Tampa area, they go east. For some reason, they get to the villages and they do this. They actually split and go, I swear to God they do.
Yeah, they go north and south of us, so. Rizzo says, why did the cactus cross the road? To get some aloe. Oh, my. Elaine Skursky says, I read aloe is in the lily family. Oh, well.
Got me.
And Laura says, Iowa tomatoes and sweet corn. Yeah,
Sweet
that's what I said.
corn.
Anywhere
Good
it's got
sweet.
that good dirt. And I said,
Remember that
Iowa's that way.
veterinarian that lived in Brownsburg? And he had sweet corn. He had like an extra 2 or 3, 4 acres next to his house. And he would plant 2 rows of sweet corn, the yellow and white mixed sweet corn. He'd plant 2 rows of that. Then he would wait like a week and plant 2 more rows next to that, wait a week, plant 2 more rows. So all summer long, it was 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows, 2 rows. But the thing is, you had to get there when he was starting to pick those 2 rows because everybody in town knew where he lived. And
Yeah, and a farmer thing was it the first 2 rows are free to the public because everybody stopped along the street and picked them anyhow. So they always
Jim
planned
always
those
said
first 2
that he
rows.
farmed like, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 acres. And we'd be out there picking corn in the combine. And I'd always make mention about, boy, it seems like the corn out here next to the road, it ain't producing very well. He goes, well, the first 2 or 3 rows is to the public. You know, they're going to stop and steal your corn around Halloween anyway.
I had never heard that before, but he had a point. Yes, yes. And Iowa, like I said, I like the Tennessee tomatoes best. And I come from Indiana. We got good tomatoes, but I like that dirt in Tennessee.
Take something else that they had in Tennessee and Indiana and some other states up there better than here. We get them here, and I do kind of eat them, but I don't kind of like them. There's something about them. Is watermelon.
Watermelon.
Watermelon had a good, wholesome taste, and they were firm. Down here, to get a watermelon to have that wholesome taste, it's almost on the verge of tasting like it's starting to rot. And I just don't care for it.
KM says, lots of cow poop up here, Skip. Longhorns and soil is black. Yes.
That's what it takes.
Yeah, that's what it takes. And now Randy and Don McManama says, aloe is a succulent. He Googled it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the difference between a succulent and a cactus.
I do.
I don't know.
Most succulents were in truck stops.
Oh, God. Spines on aloe, not stickers. That's what Phil says. And he says aloes aren't pricks. Oh, my goodness. And Tammy says aloe are not a cacti. Aloe plants are succulents. Yeah. Okay. And, okay, and Keith says she's been corrected. It's not a cactus, it's a succulent. And I said, what is the difference between a succulent and a cactus?
Seems to me succulents, remember the little round birds, had in a pot that had a hole and they would just spread.
Chickens.
Chickens, that's a succulent. You don't have to water them.
Yeah.
They get their moisture out of the air.
Oh, did not know that. Let's see. Oh, well, hi. Bye, Laura. She's going to leave for the department lunch. Says catch the rest on the replay. So go have a good lunch. Says thank you all. Glad you're feeling better, Skip.
Oh, Much better.
Yeah, Missy Mo says Michigan tomatoes, sweet corn, and yellow perch. Can't beat it. Yeah, that's that's a good meal right there. Now I don't know about the perch. I'm not big on perch. I'm big on cod.
I could go all day, and I could do it here, but we just don't have that much good stuff to actually eat when it comes to fruits and vegetables. Not my opinion. But I could go all day on the farm, go in the house, slice a big tomato, some pepper and salt on it, and eat that. Go back outside and do some work. Come back inside the house and grab something else, some corn, put some butter on it, and eat 4 or 5 ears of that, and go back outside.
Yeah.
And never eat any meat, because when the fruits and vegetables are in season in Indiana, you got to get on it, because there's a certain season for sweet corn, and after that season, it's pretty much gone.
Yeah, and tomatoes, they're best in July and August, and after that they kind of wane a little bit. But yeah, the taste is just so different.
Well, I can remember one winter we went out in the garden. We had a pretty good sized garden. And we picked before the first frost was coming, and they kind of predicted when that frost was coming. And we went out and we picked all the ripe and even half ripe tomatoes. We just picked a bunch.
Yeah.
And then Sue was canning them, and we were putting them somewhere in the house, in the basement or someplace. Anyway, we were counting them one day, and didn't we have like 100 jars, quarts?
We had enough to last the winter.
Yeah. And then I love yellow tomatoes. I always did. So she made like, I don't even know how many, dozen jars or so of nothing but yellow tomato juice. She made vegetable soup out of that yellow tomato juice. And not only did it taste totally different, it was even pretty to look at.
Yeah, and he's always had stomach problems. So that's one thing about the yellow tomatoes. They don't have the acid in them that the red tomatoes do. And so that's why I use it. And when I go to the farmer's market up here, there's one stand up there that in the middle of summer, now they don't have them all the time, but in the middle of summer, they will have yellow tomatoes. And I get all she has because it's not something you find a lot around here. So
Another thing they don't have around here is frozen tenderloins, breaded tenderloins. They got a thing called schnitzel. It don't taste the same. They got all this stuff. I've got a highly intelligent palate. I know the difference. I can taste the difference. And
picky.
Next time I go to Indiana, I think I'm going to stop at Payless, because I know that, well, I don't know what the name brand was, but I'll find me some breaded tenderloins up there. Only thing I don't remember, did we have beef tenderloins or did we eat pork tenderloins?
Pork most of the time.
The ones we bought.
The ones you buy.
The frozen ones.
Yeah, you had a choice. And
I know, but would we get beef?
I think we got pork.
Pork?
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm going to fill my freezer up to send the RV, because she says something about taking a scooter back home in the RV. I'm going to stop at Payless. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to fill the freezer up in my RV of these frozen tenderloins.
Yeah, between the pizzas and the tenderloins, we're going to need a big freezer. I said between the pizzas and the tenderloin, we're going to need a big freezer.
I'm not freezing pizza back here.
Yeah.
I'll stop at Pizza King on the way home and eat my final pizza, I guess. I might get one and take it with me. We can always warm it up in the microwave.
Yeah.
Even though I don't care for that either, but...
Joe Scarpa says, happy Wednesday, everyone. Just moved into the new village of Moultrie Creek. Excited to be here. Well,
yeah, I just talked to one of the security guards that patrols down there, and he was telling me there's over 60 families now living down there already.
Cool. Well, welcome, Joe. We're glad to have you.
Yeah.
And then don't believe what they say about north and south. We're glad to have you.
What are they saying about north and south?
Well, it's kind of a dividing line for some people.
North and south what?
Remember when we were in...
Yankees compared to southern people? I don't know what you're talking about.
Remember when we used to be in the hot tub and people would talk about those people in this area?
Oh, they're snotty down here. Yeah, we don't listen to all that.
Don't listen to all that. We're all nice, or biggest share of us. I put it that way. Not all everybody, but the biggest share of us are. So we love that area as much as we love this area.
We've been up to Orange Blossom Gardens, I don't even know how many times, to have lunch up there at the country club. I like that country club, I always did. And we've rented up there years ago. I can't tell you how many times. We never had a problem.
Yeah.
So when I hear these people, I think a lot of these people, because they're behind a keyboard and they can type stuff, they wouldn't say it to your face, but they'll type it because you don't know who they are. And I think a lot of the stuff that they type might be their true feelings, but it's not necessarily everyday truth around here. Right. You know, I do the news and I talk about some of the stuff that's bad that goes on around here, but it's not, and actually, truthfully, it is an everyday thing. There's something bad that happens in the villages every day now, but it's overall 1%. It's just not.
If you go outside of here, it's a big, big difference.
Yeah. You go to Wildwood, that's where all the druggies are at. Well, there's a bunch over there. You can make roll your eyes if you want. Ask the Wildwood police. I've talked to them.
Okay. And Joe says, thanks, no more Michigan winters for us. Yeah, Indiana people here, I understand.
Who was that?
Joe Scarpa.
Is that the guy that just moved in down Moultrie?
Mm-hmm.
Well, enjoy yourself, Joe. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah, and you will get used to this heat.
You will.
I mean, it's oppressive if you first come down here, but you do get used to it. And I
takes
said,
a
like
while.
Jose, it was funny last week. Jose is sitting there sweating, and he's from Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
and he said he didn't know how we could stand it. Well, we're just used to it.
Well, it's not the heat so much; it's the humidity. It makes you sweat. Just sitting here and
Yeah.
sweating, and like I don't feel all that hot. Now, if I had to get out and mow the grass or do the yard work, that's a whole different story. But listen, one thing I know about here, just like changing the oil in your car, take care of that air conditioner. I'm telling you.
That's a big money purchase, and you really need it here.
Make sure you got a good guy that comes by and does the regular maintenance on. We have heat pumps here, which I know nothing about. So I don't know what you got down at Moultrie. I don't know if you got air conditioning or heat pumps or what you got, but I'm just going to tell you, first year or two you're okay, but after that, get regular maintenance, take care of it.
That's right. That's right. I don't know whether to read this or not. Rizzo says, does it really matter how good food tastes? It all turns to poop in the end.
Huh?
So does it really matter what food tastes like? It all turns to poop in the end.
That's right.
And
My dad, he was, I don't know. I'm sure some people would walk by him in a restaurant and look at his plate and go, ugh, I can't believe that guy's eating that. But my dad, he liked good meatloaf too. That was just his thing. And we'd go to like Cracker Barrel once in a while, and he would generally get chicken if they had it, fried chicken. But if not, he would get meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and green beans or corn or something. They would bring it. And it was not unusual to see my dad chop up that meatloaf and mix it in with his mashed potatoes, then take the corn on and mix it all in, make a big mountain of what looks like something you might want to throw in the trash, and then he would eat it. And sometimes I say, Dad, why are you doing that for? He goes, it all goes the same place anyway.
Well, that's what Rester says. It usually tastes better going in than going out.
But I can relate to it because when Sue makes something where I got mashed potatoes, gravy, and let's say a corn, I don't do it with the meat so much, but I do mix my corn or something in with the mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, and I do. You know, I was when Kentucky Fried Chicken came out with the bowls. I thought that was great actually, because that way you got all your stuff, and they said you had your mashed potatoes and gravy, and then they had corn on there, and then chicken nuggets or whatever on the top of it. That was perfect for me. I'm not one of those people that I don't want my food to touch. We had a son that was like that.
I don't have a big problem with Kentucky Fried Chicken because basically I want the chicken. But this one you went to wherever in the last couple of times, I'm not interested in ever going back there.
Well,
it's just disgusting.
They change all the time. That's the problem. You know, some days
Kentucky
are good.
Fried Chicken is a corporate. The employees might change,
Yeah.
but how they do things should never change.
And then that's why that things change, is because the employees change. So one guy cooks it better than the other guy cooks it. So
There should be timers on all this stuff, just like McDonald's.
I know.
You go to McDonald's in California, go to McDonald's in Maine and Rhode Island, up there, the hamburger tastes the same.
Well, Rizzo says our neighbor's replacing his air conditioner for peace of mind. Our homes are 10 years old. Yeah, and that's that's
I
a
believe that.
good study. Now we keep
Yeah.
a close eye on ours. You know, it's just like with the roofs. You know, they're saying insurance companies making you change your roof at 10 years. I haven't seen that as
We ain't been here 10 years yet.
well. I said that it's coming soon.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
And somebody also told me that our insurance company is a thing of the past, so we will see.
Yeah, they tell us all this stuff, but what's the alternative? Seriously, you can say things like, well, your insurance company sucks. Well, if it's my insurance company, what am I supposed to do about it? Really, you done paid it for the year, you're stuck with it. Your insurance company went bankrupt. Now we got a problem.
Well, they quit insuring houses in Florida, which our old insurance company did that, so that's not unusual.
See, that ain't true to a point. I don't want to get into politics, but Governor DeSantis' office has released a press release the other day showing that because some changes they made in the law, don't ask me, I don't know about insurance companies, that insurance companies are showing greater interest now in coming back to Florida. Don't know what that's going to mean about prices or coverage. Have no idea, but we're here for the long haul, so we'll find out.
Yeah, well, and Wrestler says, John, just because I speak crap doesn't mean I eat it. Although I will say HHC ensures I eat my words a lot. So, yes. And Skip Wilson says KFC costs too much. Yeah, they're getting up there. I always use a coupon. I'm cheap. You know, I use a coupon. When I see those coupons, I might not be going this week, but I might next week. You never know when you have a real...
when you get that bucket of chicken, do those buckets come in different sizes?
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
It's so many pieces.
I just remember when we had kids, we go get a bucket of chicken, and it seems to me the bucket was much bigger than what you're bringing home here.
Yeah, and like I said, I think you get 6-piece, 8-piece, 12-piece, that kind of thing. And I said, then you get to choose your sides or what have you. I think you get 2 sides to go with it. Now that doesn't include your potatoes and gravy, that comes with it, but then you can pick 2 sides beside that. So corn and mac and cheese, or green beans and mac and cheese, something like that. So, but it is a lot. I mean, you can just about go out and eat for the price that you can get that at.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that because of Tyson?
Because they're having to kill all the...
Yeah,
they have
Tyson
the bird
killed
flu.
a bunch of chickens because of some kind of disease or something. Is that the reason why chickens are so high? Because of that?
I'm not sure, but I'd say that has something to do with it. Just like your eggs. Your egg prices went crazy last year or the year before, and they come back down. But now, you know, they've got another big round of bird flu, so don't be surprised if they don't go back up. And like I said, I use coupons, and I go to Aldi's. Their eggs is always cheaper than the regular stores. Their eggs and their milk.
Are they chicken eggs?
Yes, they're chicken eggs. You ate enough of them, you should know.
I don't know. All I know is this. Many, many years ago, I was working for a Zellerback paper company. I was subcontracted to them through Ryder Logistics, and I was coming to Marion to deliver something to somewhere, and there was a gas station on the corner that opened up as a restaurant. And I just thought, I'm going to stop in here and get me some lunch. Breakfast, that's what it was, breakfast, because I was heading wherever I was going. Maybe I was heading to Elwood, out of Marion. That's probably what I was doing. I'm going to pull in here and get me some breakfast. I've never been in there before. So I go in and order a normal breakfast, you know, bacon, eggs, toast, whatever. They bring it to me, and these eggs were huge, and the yolks was like that big around. And it was kind of a real orangish color. And I was looking at them, and I asked the lady, I said, what kind of eggs are those? And she said, they're duck eggs. I said, duck eggs? I said, I didn't want duck eggs. I want regular chicken eggs. She said, oh no, we specialize in duck eggs. Everybody comes in here for the duck eggs. I said, but I don't want duck eggs. She said, well, that's all we got. So that's why I ask anymore. These stupid questions that people might think are stupid, it's because I've experienced something somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Kathy B in the 603 says, hey, Skip and Sue, wanted to catch the end of Porch Settin. I always try to use coupons whenever I can. Yeah, you know, I come from a big family, and so I'm used to doing that. We don't need to do that now. It's just the 2 of us, and I don't actually buy that much. But I save when I can. You never know. That money might be the next vacation. You know, an extra gallon of gas. You just never know about that kind of thing. So, yeah, just on the other hand, you know, there's things that I buy that is probably way too expensive, but we want it. So I'll go ahead and buy it. But otherwise, I keep an eye on the prices of things and whether I think it's actually worth that much. There's a lot of things I don't think it's worth that
William
much.
says $1.20 a dozen at Aldi's. That don't sound too bad to me.
No, that's what I said, you know. And I buy my chicken and my milk at Aldi's.
You know, coming from a farm background, I understand how much work goes into this stuff. So when I see $1.20 a dozen, my mind says that farmer can't make any money at this, because that farmer's ain't getting half of that when they come in and buy his stuff. I don't know.
When there's a lot of corporate farms now, you know, where they got millions.
Well, yeah, everything's turned to that. One of them is China. They own, I forget how many thousands of acres here in the United States, so they can grow this stuff, and then they ship it back to China over there. And it's becoming a big controversy. I saw it on TV last night when one of the news reporters was interviewing a political party person, and they were showing this map showing all the land that China owns around the United States, supposedly for agricultural reasons. But then on that, they superimposed American military bases. and all of the land that China had was right next to a military base. And I thought, how come our military or our government people didn't catch that?
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah, and I you know, we only know what they tell us. So
Jerry Bell says, speaking of AC, your government is changing the Freon in new 2025 condensers that are estimated to cost 30% more. The new Freon is flammable and have more safety features that cost more to make and install. We know they made a change a few years ago.
I was going to say, Jerry, we haven't had Freon in our cars for 20 years. Because I used to Freon my own semi trucks up 20 might be off, might be 15, but anyway, when you had to buy this RG12, which is something, then they had an RGB 10 something, and just like our new car here, I don't have Freon in it. I don't know what it is. All I know is it works. And I think that's the main reason here why they got heat pumps, because we don't have Freon. I'm not sure why that is, why they've done away with Freon, other than the fact, I know what it is.
It was carbon.
Yeah, it gets up in the atmosphere, and that's the reason why Earth is getting hot.
Yeah. Wrestler says, Skip, Luann just found a recipe for linguine with vegan clam strips. Turns out it's a real thing. We will make it for you next time you visit.
That's okay.
Sounds good to me.
I'll meet you at the nearest Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yeah. Okay. Have to be in the 603. We went to Five Guys in our area. 2 little hamburgers, 1 little fry that we split, and 2 small drinks come to $29.
Really?
Yeah, it is ridiculous anymore.
Well, do they have the new minimum wage thing like California's got?
Well, I don't know.
McDonald's out in California is raising hell. They're trying to get the exemption thing on there because they got all servers at these fast food restaurants, whatever they consider to be a fast food restaurant, minimum wage out there is $20 an hour. And there was a guy on YouTube, I saw it the other day, he was showing his receipt. He went to McDonald's and got like a quarter-pounder meal, which is usually what I get when I go to McDonald's. Even though I think their Cokes suck, but anyway, you get the quarter-pounder meal. And it was something like $19.95.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't pay it.
And Jerry says if your AC's on its last leg, you should look into this and think about replacing this year. Yeah, it's a must down here. Unless you're an Indian, it's a must to have the air conditioning down here, especially at our age.
Guarantee you, when it's 112 outside, your air conditioner's going to take a puke.
Yeah, that seems like we see the air conditioning guy in the neighborhood. Every time it gets really hot, you see 3 or 4 different houses.
They're all running around here. The other day, what was it, a week ago, that I noticed our air conditioner?
2, yeah.
About a week ago. Good thing I've been through this before because I kind of knew what to do. Or I thought I did. That as I'm in there editing videos, I come out the doorway and I'm looking over at the temperature in the house and it was 75. Not bad, but I have it set at 74. And I kept watching that. So I went back in there, edited some videos. I came back out a little bit later and looked over there and it was 76. But the air conditioner's running. Well, the heat pump's running. So right away I thought, I got to run some hot water down that drain pipe. Because this happened before. And so I run hot water down that drain pipe and it didn't seem to make a difference. So I took my air compressor and I give it a shot of air down there. And I did hear something go, kind of pop. So I went outside and I seen the water running out the drain thing out here. And once it starts acting up, it takes, what did that guy tell us? Every hour your house will lower by 1 degree. So I was already 2 or 3 degrees higher than normal. So I figured it'd take a couple, 3 hours. Well, in 1 hour I went out there and looked and we were already back down to 74. So I fixed my own. But at the same time, I'd already called the emergency guy to come here in case that wasn't it, because you don't want to deal with this heat.
Yeah.
He came here, I told him what I did. He looked at it and he said, "No, perfect." He said, "You did exactly right." He said, "You don't want me to change your air filter, do you?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I do while you're here." He said, "Well, they're going to charge you another $65 service call if I put that air filter in there." He said, "Just order them off Amazon." He said, "That's where we get them." I said, "What?" So he gives me the order details, and I saved $65. He charged $100 to show up.
Don't tell him the name because
I
you don't
won't,
want him to get in trouble.
But yeah, and he said, "You get 2 for the price of 1." And I did. I ordered them. They came here. I put 1 in. I've got an extra one. So I didn't really need him at that point, but I just wanted to, because this was on a Sunday, wasn't it?
Saturday.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to make sure if he had a long waiting list on the weekend.
That he got to us, yes.
Yeah, he'd have got to us when the house was 112. So It's okay. I'm out to $100, but that's okay. I'm fine.
Now Vic says Five Guys is worth it. He had lunch there today after golf. Well, you know, it kind of everybody's different. You know?
I don't mind the Five Guys hamburgers. I just don't like their fries at all. They don't peel them. You know how I am about peeling those potatoes.
I know. Yeah. Okay. John Keller says, sounds like a coincidence. Says, you have a hole in your ozone. And Rizzo says, so it's a oh-hole.
Yeah. The oh-ho.
Oh-hole.
Yeah.
Say that 3 times.
I can't say anything 3 times.
Okay.
You guys all see me when I do the news. I get so pissed off at myself because I'll read something. Next thing you know, I'm fumbling over the words. Sometimes I think I'm dyslexic. I'll say words backwards. You know, and then I have to go back and do it again, and then do it again.
You read so much better than you used to, though. When you start,
I think it's helping with it ain't the reading part. I know how to read, but as I get to a certain age, my mind just doesn't comprehend things very fast. Mm-hmm. If I slow down my reading and read about this pace right here, I'm fine. But when I try to speed up a little bit to get something done, I have to edit a lot.
Yeah. Roger Walanga says heat puns use Freon. Look it up.
Well, I'm just saying the newer stuff don't have Freon. Matter of fact, in Indiana, I think Freon's illegal. I can't speak for every state. Every state has their own. Like marijuana. You can do marijuana here. You can't in Indiana.
Yeah, well, couldn't. You never know.
Well, I don't know.
Barbara says, I bet you regularly went after that corn, Skip. Yes, he did.
What's that?
He said she bet you went regularly after that corn.
After the corn?
After that corn, yeah. The corn in Indiana.
Oh, well, listen.
We ate a lot of corn and tomatoes.
Yeah, I ate a lot of corn and tomatoes, and Sue used to make a thing that I really, really liked. Everything came out of the garden, too. It was called a summer salad, or what I call a summer salad. And it was nothing for me to go in and get a bowl of summer salad this big, this deep, put a little salt and pepper on top of it, and I'd sit in front of the TV and eat the whole damn thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was nice because you didn't have to put any dressing on it because it kind of made its own dressing. The juice from the vegetables.
Remember Dick came over?
Yeah.
And he never had it. And he asked Sue, he says, what kind of dressing you got on here? She says, none. It just makes its own.
Salt and pepper. Yeah, it makes its own. If you've got the juicy vegetables, that's what it takes. You know, and I said, it's hard. I try to make it down here, but it's not the same because you don't have the juice from the vegetables that you had up there. But,
and the hydroponic stuff don't have any flavor.
Yeah. Discern the Bible says duck eggs are supposed to be more rich tasting, more fluffier eggs, and contain more nutrients.
What,
and they probably are. It's just.
What, duck eggs?
Yeah.
It's just fine. It's just, I didn't know it. It didn't like they had a sign saying, we specialize in duck eggs, you know.
Oh, okay. Well, and so I guess it's time, yeah, Wrestler says it's time. Yeah, I love the way he pronounced it too. I laughed, but I didn't say anything.
What did I say?
The dyslexic, and you said dylexic.
Did I?
Yeah.
See?
And eating potatoes with the peel on it contains more vitamins, and we know that. He just doesn't like it.
I just don't. There's something about potatoes peelings. Now, if it's like a red potato, because that's a very thin potato, I don't like them. So you throw the little potato. They're usually very small. You throw them in the oven, cook them that way or whatever. I don't like them that way. But if you take that same potato, cut them in half, fry them in a little bit of oil, I'll eat the hell out of them.
Hey, Alice.
Hey, Alice!
Yeah. Wrestler says Skip likes salad, corn, and other veggies. Again, agreeing he could easily become vegan. Said mark down this date. Okay, we're
Wait a minute.
getting toward the end here.
No, we're not going anywhere yet. Alice is here.
And Misty Mo says RAC is close to 30 years and still purrs like a kitten. Well, you're lucky. You know, 30 years, that's...
I'm okay. I'm on my way home.
Hang that thing up!
Hello?
I swear it's like an addiction. People can be in the middle of taking a poop and they got to answer the phone.
Hi, Skip.
Whatever it is, I ain't signing it.
I want to get you a SKIP SMITH Skip Smith.
No, S-K-I-P.
Yeah, SKIP
Yeah,
SMITH.
yeah.
The Villages. THEVILLAGES. Villages.
Are you looking for my YouTube channel?
Yeah,
I'm going to try it.
Well, that's not right.
No?
that's what I told her.
What's your...
Everything's right, but you just got it backwards. The Villages comes first. A guy on
my
here
fault.
talked me into that. Another guy that didn't know what he was talking about. He said the reason why people can't find you on here because you got Skip Smith the Villages. He said they don't type in Google looking for Skip Smith. I found out that's bullshit. Nobody really cares. Google don't care. If you put all them words in order, backwards, upside down, my channel pops up. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what are you doing today? Sit down. Sit down.
I stay away from you because...
She's been sick. They just come
Yeah.
back from Europe.
Yeah, I just come
You got
back.
COVID?
No, just some nasty disease from the trip. One guy gets...
Is it a sexually transmitted disease?
No. I'm good with that.
You know we're live on YouTube right now.
Oh, we are.
Oh, that's okay. You can say hi.
Microphones.
Yeah. But yeah, just see.
Hi.
This is our neighbor Alice.
Oh my God. They
Yeah.
can hear us.
Oh yeah. Yeah, only about 15,000 people. But yeah, that was my fault.
And none of that has to be capitalized.
Yeah.
You just go to YouTube.
The Villages, S with S. Skip Smith.
Yeah, you just go to YouTube, type that in, and I'll pop up. And then hit the subscribe button, and anytime you do something new like this, it'll come up on your phone.
Okay, I got it wrong. I put your name first.
Yeah. I don't talk about you, so you don't have to keep an eye on me.
Thank you so much. You take care.
I always
Will
do.
do. You take care, honey. That cold's awful.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't got a cold.
I don't know what the heck is that.
You been going up to the square?
Tonight I will go dance.
Oh,
Gotta
so
go
you don't
dance.
so you don't mind infecting all them people, but you don't want to infect
I'm
me.
not chick to anybody. I dance by myself.
Yeah, she dances by herself. I've got a video of you dancing.
So I'm
Yeah.
good.
All right.
Have a good day.
Oh,
See
you
ya.
too, honey. Take care.
Drive safe. I've seen you drive. You drive on the wrong side of the road.
Oh. Bye, Vic. He has to go. Okay, guys, we got a few things here at the end for this weekend. Anybody that's looking for something to do on the weekend, of course, Saturday is the cruise-in, and I believe they're having their 27th anniversary of cruise-ins, and so I said they may have some extra stuff going on from 4 to 9 in Spanish Springs. I think next week they have the all-car cruise-in at Brownwood. But anyhow, for this weekend, it's a cruise-in Saturday from 4 to 9. They have a new store opening in Spanish Springs, Love Home Harmony, their grand opening, and they have vintage and handmade home decor. And the outside bar at Spanish Springs is open. It's called Blondie's. You gotta go check it out. I think you'll like it. And the World of Beer in Spanish Springs is I think they're already closed. They're combining with the World of Beer in Brownwood. So I think they're already done.
I think we can expect the World of Beer in Brownwood when their lease runs out to leave. This is just the first part of it.
Well, like I said, that one closed. But anyhow, they also have guided kayak tours this Thursday from 8 to 10. It's $25 for residents, $50 for non-residents. It's the Lake Sumter Landing. That's 1,000 Lake Sumter Landing. So that might be something interesting to do, especially in this, since it's so hot.
Does that have anything to do with the camp villages?
No, actually that's different. That's for anybody. Because Camp Villages is going on right now with the kids. And I've seen a lot of pictures in the paper of the things they were doing, and they were having a ball. I want to get Scooter down here so he can go to Camp Villages, but I don't know if that'll be possible. But they go until August, so I think I can.
They go through August.
Yeah, that's why I said there's two different sections. There's June and then July up to August. The Canoe and Kayak Club, they do a half a dozen trips each month, and you have to bring your own boat. But the club posted on the app, meet up third Tuesday of the month at Colony. Do not meet June and July and August. But yeah, that might be something you're interested in, the Canoe and Kayak Club. There's always also a sailing club, which meets monthly. and they sail from September through March, or May, September through May, and they go to different places sailing. You reach them at sailthevillages.org. Check it out, see what you think. And then there's a scuba diving club. They do inland, offshore, locally, and overseas. They meet 7 p.m. on first Wednesday each month at Laurel Manor. And then there's a deep sea fishing club.org. They're the most active. They have 25 charter trips each month, and they go to the different places around Florida, and that just sounds interesting to me. So,
You mean the dragon boat people ain't doing anything this week?
I did not have that down.
I was
but
going to say,
maybe.
dragon boats right now are big in the contest. They've been traveling all over the place.
They did have
And they've been taking in trophies.
They had a group that they're non-competitive, and they said that they thought people thought that they weren't as strong as the other groups, so they did a test to see. I think they paddled for a full 15 minutes just to prove that they were as good as the other groups, even though they didn't compete.
It's a workout. I've
Yeah.
watched them. I always thought I'd like to do that, but now I'm too fat.
Well, you never know. That's why you get fat, because you don't do anything.
I can just see me getting on the boat and losing my balance and falling in the water.
Well, yeah, but you know how to swim. So.
Well, I got a lot of fat. I can float.
Well, and I think, we're up to 156, so I think that's probably it for today. And appreciate y'all being here.
All right. Thanks, moderators. You too, wrestler.
Yeah. Love y'all.
Jerry and all you guys, I'll see you tomorrow for a late lunch, right?
Yeah. And don't leave your keys in the golf cart.
I don't say that on there.
Oh, okay. We'll see you on the other side.
Yeah. Where is it?